All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start with the notes for today. Sorry that I could not be there. It's snowing a little bit too much. I went to Boston this weekend and we were not able to get home in time for me to be at work. So um, first, we're going to start with multiplying and dividing polynomials today. We did adding and subtracting last class. So now we're going to take it a step further. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is multiplying a monomial times a polynomial. Remember that a monomial is one, poly means many. So we're going to have a monomial times everything inside. So this is actually when we get to use the distributive property. So we're going to be multiplying our 3x squared with everything else inside. So we're going to have 3x squared times 4x squared, 3x squared times 6x, and 3x squared times 7x. Keep in mind when you are multiplying exponents, we've learned when it's the same base that you add the exponents. So I have 12x to the 4th minus 18x cubed, adding exponents here, plus 21x. So I just multiplied that 3x squared in. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing for number 2. We have x and y now. So when I multiply that in, again, I'm just going to add the like terms, the exponents on them. So I'm going to have negative 40 x to the 4th y cubed minus, because it's a negative with that 5, 15 x cubed y squared plus, because that's a negative 10, 50 x squared y. So I only combined the exponents on the like basis. I did not change the exponent of everything if it wasn't necessary. Remember that we also need to be making sure that our answers are in standard form. So remember how I said alphabetical order, highest exponent first, and when you have 2 of them, alphabetical order, and it is still in order, decreasing order of that first exponent. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now let's do number 3. So number 3 does what we just talked about, and it also factors in what we did last class, the addition, or number 4, like the subtraction. So first what we need to do is we need to multiply our 4x into everything. So I'm going to have 32x cubed plus 36x squared minus 4x. And since I'm having to rewrite this anyway, I always use the vertical method when I'm doing a problem with addition or subtraction after having to multiply. So now when I'm multiplying in this 3x, I'm going to write it underneath, and it's going to be added so that I have 21x squared minus 18, 21x cubed minus 18x squared plus 6x. And I'm now going to add those together so that I have 53x cubed plus 18x squared plus 2x. And there you have it. There's your answer. Okay, for number 4, again, same thing as number 3, but now we have this subtraction. So remember, that's the same as a negative 3x. So when you're distributing this in, it's going to be a negative 3x that's multiplied by everything. So go ahead and do 4, 5, and 6 on your own. We'll regroup and we'll do number 7 together. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so here are the answers for 4, 5, and 6. In number 4, again, we had to distribute a negative 3, which is why this became a negative 27x cubed, a negative 3x, and then this became positive. Adding those together, you get that answer. In number 5, you have to be very careful because the way my answer is written is the way it has to be written, again, in standard form. So my exponent is decreasing in order. So I have to make sure that my like terms are lined up. So you'll notice that I lined up my negative 10m plus 3m. And that's because when you add them down, 4m to the 4th doesn't have another term to be added with it. And so you just have to make sure that you're careful about what you're putting together. And then in the last one, we distributed in the y for the first two, and we just had the negative 9y on the end. So when I added those together, my y squareds actually ended up canceling out, and I was just left with my 2y, my negative 2y. All right, last one in this set of notes. Lots of red dots here. Is our geometry example. So we need to find the area of the shaded region, meaning that we need to take this part, that rectangular piece out. So if you remember, area equals length times width. So I first need to figure out the length and width of the large rectangle. So I'm going to have 6x times 8x minus 1, distributing in my 6x, I end up with 48x squared minus 6x. Now, since I'm taking out that middle rectangle, I'm going to still have to multiply to figure out the area of this rectangle, but I'm taking it out, so therefore I'm subtracting it. So I'm going to be subtracting 2x times 5x plus 3. And again, that is technically a negative 2x. So when I distribute it, I'm going to end up with a negative 10x squared minus 6x. And now let's combine our like terms. If I can get my pen to cooperate. There we go. All right, so 48x squared minus 10x squared is going to be 38x. Wow, come on, Mrs. Hayes. You can do it. 38x squared minus 12x. And that, my friends, is your answer. Okay, so you can take a little mental break if you need to, and you can move on to the next set of notes when you're ready.